Hello everyone, my name is Void Doctor and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server. And today we're starting out this episode inside the lovely little librarian house that we constructed last episode. Although, to be fair, it's actually not that little. We got this big tower here, so it's actually quite a large structure. Now, you may notice there is definitely a different atmosphere in this building this episode, and that is because I finally got my hands on some spruce. This is a luxury to me, this nice, dark, sort of saturated wood. I love it. I love how spruce looks, so I think having it in this build makes this place feel a bit more special, a little bit more premium, like definitely something the sort of, I don't know, I kind of imagine these villager buildings as almost being like guilds, so definitely makes this place feel like the Librarian Guild is definitely paying quite a bit to get the luxury of a nice dark spruce floor and stairs in their building, their guild hall. So yeah, eventually I might also incorporate dark oak, which will probably be, I don't know, I feel like dark oak is the most expensive looking wood. It just looks so polished and saturated and just healthy in general. So it'll probably be the most it'll probably be reserved for the mayor of the town or something like that, you know. So yeah. But yeah, very happy with how the new floor looks in that building. And also, you may notice my chest plate's enchanted, and that is because I have finally gotten my hands on a protection 4 villager. Actually, I've gotten myself quite a few very good villagers, namely protection 4, sharpness 5, and of course feather falling 4. Now, I would like to get myself enchanted this episode, and I think that's actually the first thing we are going to do this episode, is just get some enchantments on the gear. So off camera, just gonna probably AFK for a while at all of our automatic farms, gather myself up some emeralds, and then we'll do some trading for all these lovely books. So gonna go AFK for a while. Real exciting stuff, you know. Alright, so I've been steadily gathering some emeralds, and now I'd say I'm fairly well enchanted. I'd like to put mending on my armor, so I'll probably save up a few more emeralds for that. But mending is pretty cheap, it's like 18 emeralds, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, I also would definitely like to put Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 5 on my pickaxe, because that will make it pretty much the most overpowered pickaxe I've owned on episode. What episode is it? Episode 5? I lose track of what episode it is, but yeah, that will pretty much make it the most overpowered pickaxe I've ever owned on episode 5. So yeah, definitely very excited for that. So gonna get some mending on my armor and going to finish enchanting my pickaxe, because I believe I also have a Fortune 3 villager, which should pretty much max out this pickaxe, aside from netherite, but that is definitely something I don't have access to right now. Oh, never mind. Too Much Mustard did give me one netherite scrap off camera, but yeah, I didn't include that in any videos because that was kind of in between episodes while I was just making off camera progress. But yes, so I do technically have access to netherite scraps, but I only have one. Eventually I am gonna go netherite mining, but netherite isn't super important to me in the early game. In fact, it's not really important to me in a large portion of the game. It's really only once I start to do a lot with fire and lava that I start to sort of worry about netherite, but that doesn't concern me too much right now. This is gonna sound really stupid, but I think I need to make it so I can't jump between this hill and this house, because currently it means I can jump into this porch area, which just feels wrong. Okay, so I've gotten all my gear all enchanted up, and if you look at my pickaxe, this is almost fully maxed out. The one thing it's missing is Fortune 3, but I can't really be bothered to finish getting all the enchantments on here because I'm just feeling a bit lazy today. No, I'm just kidding. I just really don't want to get rid of any more of my pumpkins. I only have a few left, and I'd rather save those. Probably going to AFK overnight, so yeah, definitely gonna do that in between clips. Now, the next thing I would like to do is to get myself some sort of banner for this town, like, or rather, I should have said get this town some sort of banner. I like having some sort of feeling that there is a government in the town that I'm building. I mean, so long as my base is a town. Sometimes in the past, I have built bases that are not towns, but I prefer to build bases that are towns. So I tend to like to have it feel like there's some sort of government here, and I think the easiest way to do that until we have some sort of town hall or just like regional jurisdiction is to sort of set up some sort of kind of what is the word whatever, but like I like to have some banners here, and I think the easiest way we can sort of incorporate these banners into the lore of the world and just kind of expand the town a bit more is to sort of make some sort of heraldry building. If you don't know what heraldry is, it's sort of the art of flag making. So I think we could have some sort of like flag makers workroom where they kind of like just work on designing flags. That seems like a really cool job, actually. I'm kind of a flag enthusiast myself, so yeah. Heraldry is really cool. That if you're wondering what all those different sort of titles, when you're hovering over a banner, if you're wondering what all those different titles are, like cyan lozenge, gray base, gray pale, gray bordure, black fest, all those things, I believe those are heraldic terms. Don't hold me to that. I'll go check. Yes, those are old heraldic terms. So yeah, what I'd like to do first is get some sort of flag set up for this place, some sort of banner or flag here, and then we'll work on that heraldry shop, since I think it'll be cooler to have some sort of banner to display on the outside of the heraldry shop, and then we can work on like maybe different types of banners, maybe banners for like different guilds and things. That would be so cool if each of the different villager guilds had a different flag. Oh my gosh, so they had like the local regional flag of the town, but then they also had their own flag. Oh my, that just gave me so many ideas. Oh my gosh. Okay, yep, gotta work on this. Okay, first what I want to do is design a flag for the town, and then, oh my gosh, this will be so cool. All right, so I think this sort of flag design here actually looks pretty cool. I think the blue sort of represents the ocean quite well, and the yellow sort of represents the sun and the sand, and the black just sort of provides some sort of like mediating color between the two sort of very drastically different colors. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this whole flag has come together. I think the very contrasting yellow and black definitely draw your eye. So maybe we can put one here. I don't that's not gonna work because it's covering the door. But yeah, I think flags look cool in Minecraft, but it's always so hard to find places to put them because they always kind of obstruct doors if you want to put them on the ground level, and if you want to put them higher up, it's really hard to see them. So yeah, places like right here are kind of good places to put flags. Like I don't know, right there. That's a pretty good place to put a flag. And then also making your own flag posts or flag poles is kind of cool. Kind of making your own sort of banner holders, that can also be quite effective. So yeah, I'm gonna go try and find some places to put these flags, and then I'll start working on the heraldry shop. Probably going to start that off with creating some sort of sheep pen in the savannah. Alright, so I've gotten the flags all positioned over here, and I think this is pretty good positioning. You know, these buildings are kind of front and center right now. Eventually we'll put some buildings in front of them, but right now this is kind of the only building you see. Like, this is the building that draws your eyes, especially because it has that nice bright orange on it. So I think it was a pretty decent place to put the flags, and it's also very difficult to just find good places to put banners because they're kind of awkward looking in a lot of circumstances. So definitely a bit difficult to find places to put these, but I think this looks pretty good. Now, the next order of business is going to be working on the heraldry shop, and I think we have one of two options. We could throw it down over here on like the water right here. Eventually I want to add like a harbor or something, but I obviously don't have the resources for that right now. Or we can throw it up somewhere right here, maybe kind of put it as like a stand or something. I don't think that would be as cool, but we can put up some sort of building over here. But yeah, so we can do the water, or we can do it up here. I think I'm going to just lay out two foundations, kind of similar size and dimensions, in these two different locations and see which looks better. Alright, I haven't even constructed the second foundation out on the water, and I already know this is precisely where I want to build this. This just looks so perfect here. I don't know why. This kind of like footprint here, and then it also fills in this space right here, kind of making this whole area with the librarian building and the farmer, or not the farmer, the pumpkin farms. This whole like area is starting to feel more like downtown. You know, this is really starting to feel like the more crowded, sort of populated area of the town, and all the other areas are like more. They're less. They're kind of like the outskirts, right? Like out there where the tree farm is. That's not really the outskirts. That's still pretty close to here. But like out there where those light posts are out there, that's starting to feel more like the outskirts of town out there. So it definitely adds a different perspective to the town. Also makes the whole storage hall sort of palace building definitely feel a lot more special and prominent when it's not right next to the more busy side of town. It starts to sort of get into its own little area, its own little personal space bubble, I guess one could say. Alright, so I've gotten this whole building, kind of the walls all built up, and I think it looks pretty good. I forgot a window here. It's always quite difficult to figure out where to put windows in a building that's diagonal, because you want them to be kind of central of each of those sort of panels on the diagonal pattern, but on the inside they always look a little bit awkward, but I think it looks acceptable in here. So now I'm going to work on a floor, and obviously the little like crenellation looking ceiling, and then we'll work on the actual heraldry desk or whatever. I should probably look at like heraldry shops or something. I don't know. Okay, well, this is my new favorite floor texture. I mean, I get it, you basically can't right click the floor at all, but this is so cool. It looks like there's like little, I don't know, it looks like he's patching it a bit, you know, like it's starting to fall apart, so he's just like patching it. It looks so funny. Oh my gosh, I think we've been bamboozled. I think Too Much Mustard saw the YouTube short that I posted the other day and kind of went ham on my copper with his axe, and now, yeah, place not looking so hot. Great. It was not like this morning, trust me, because it's now like 3 in the afternoon. It was not like this morning. How did he do this though? Has he been on? When has he been on? What? This is gonna require some true tomfoolery next episode. Just keep an eye out for that. That should be real fun. Alright, so I've gotten a quick little interior set up in here, and I think this place looks actually quite nice. I don't know. It looks quite simple on the inside, but you know, I'd assume somebody who's in the profession of heraldry probably wouldn't be making big bucks, so they probably don't have a lot of money to spend on their shop itself. They're probably going to feed their most of their money is probably going towards feeding their family and things. So yeah, definitely a bit of a more minimalistic interior. Definitely not a lot of stuff in here until we obviously make it clear that this is a herald. I don't think they're called. This is an office of someone who practices heraldry. I guess that's how you could say it. Anyway, so what next thing I would like to do is just put some banners in here. I'm basically just gonna go to needcoolshoes.com, go there for all of your banner and skin making needs. Again, not sponsored. I just really like online Minecraft tools, apparently. Anyway, and I'm basically just going to create as many random different looking banner designs as I can until I am satisfied with a few, probably 6 or 7, and then I'll go out in search of all the dyes that I'm going to require to yeah, that's going to be quite expensive. I just realized that. Good thinking. It's episode 5, and I have to go travel many hundreds of blocks, or thousands of blocks, maybe. To be clear, episode 5 this season is a lot earlier than episode 5 last season. It's been like, what? It's been like a little over half a month. Last season, episode 5 was like, I believe, a month later, or multiple months later. I think it was like 3 months later. So, yeah, episode 5 this season is quite a bit earlier than episode 5 last season, which is why I'm a lot less far into the game on this episode 5. That's just a point of clarification, pretty much. Okay, so I am very happy with how all these flags have come together. However, you may notice that the regional flag, or what I wanted the regional flag to be around here, is now on the wall. And that's because I designed this flag. And I think this looks so much cooler and so much more deserty than this flag. This is going to become the new regional flag. Now, you may notice that it's still on this house. And that's because this house is quite large. And whoa, is he angry? and that's because this house is quite large. And so I kind of imagine this being sort of like a, I don't know, maybe there's like a council, like it's a republic, and this is one of the members of that council. Like this is their family house, so they're kind of a very important family. So they have like their own crest on their house, right? So that's kind of what I imagine it being, is sort of like a local kind of flag of a very important family. So yeah, maybe all these flags are flags of very important families that this kind of artist, the herald, or the person who practices the heraldry. I don't think herald is the right term for someone who practices heraldry, but yeah, that's kind of like my idea for that, is that's kind of, they designed all the flags for like the very important like kind of houses around here, I guess you could call them, like clans or whatever, and then they all kind of meet in a council with like one sort of very important king or whatever, or like a mayor or someone, and to make decisions. It's kind of like a republic, except hereditary succession is the thing. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to give these guys, the poor farmers, a better living condition. Because right now, they have almost no space, to the point where I can't fit any more beds in here without not being able to navigate the room. So I literally can't breed them anymore. So yeah, we're stuck with 3 farmers still, which means, yeah, we're gonna need to expand this place. So what I want to do is just kind of start figuring out what I want to do for this build in a creative test world. But what I need to do first is find a way to contain all the... What? Where did they go? Wait, what is going on? If this is an April Fool's prank, this is not funny. Where did they go? Okay, well, this is extremely unfortunate. I guess I'm going to have to go breed up librarians to become farmers. I really dislike villagers. I have a feeling a couple of the villagers were just kind of being idiots and standing right on the fences and didn't run away when husks walked up, and just kind of let themselves be killed by husks. I'm just going to breed these guys up off camera. But what I want to do is kind of just put the villagers in a temporary like fence off area, and then we can build a house for them while they're in like the fence off area, and we can just put the house around the fence. That'll kind of look funny, and it'll also work extremely well. I am terrified to touch this oak plank, to say the least. This is absolutely terrifying. I have no clue what's going to happen. Oh my, well, now I feel like it's unfair to not activate this. Are there really any valuables here? I should probably pick up these pumpkins, I guess. As many as I can. This might end horribly. Yeah, I'm not too smart. I walked into that hole, pushed the minecart, and the whole thing blew up. Well, that's my fault. Whoever did that, congratulations. That was pretty funny. Like, I don't know if that was meant to work, but if it wasn't, and it was just meant to scare me, you are officially a genius. There's also a very violent explosion. Like, they rattle and stuff. It's very strange, the TNT minecarts. Yeah, they're very violent. Alright, folks. I'm really happy with how this Farmers Guild is coming together. We actually built it last night on stream. It was a really great time. We had a bunch of people show up. A lot of support, actually, on the first stream. So, yeah, it was a real fun time. Probably just gonna stream pretty much all the grind work on the server, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm noticing I've actually acquired quite a few resources at this point. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but if you look in specifically my stones chest, yeah, I have quite a few various stones. Now, stones aren't particularly valuable, but what is things like sand, and when you look up here, copper, all this stuff is pretty valuable. And I think copper specifically is something we could sell for quite a bit of money. So what I'd like to do is just get in contact with a few various Infinity Crafters and see if we can try to sell some of the resources that we've been collecting over the last little while. So I'm just gonna pretty much use game chat. Fake Blossom's the only one online right now, but maybe I'll also just message Too Much Mustard over Discord and see if we can get a few trade deals going, and then we'll head over to their base and make a few transactions. Okay, so Too Much Mustard just said that he'd be willing to purchase some sand, some cobblestone, some deep slate, and some stone off of me. So I'm going to go gather up all those things, and we'll negotiate a price at his base. Alright, so this is what you came here to buy. Cobblestone, deep slate, stone, and sand, correct?
Yes.
Alright, I'm a little bit confused, but okay. That's not concerning at all. And here you go.
Ooh. Thank you.
I don't have shulker boxes, okay? I'm not that rich. It's gonna take up your entire inventory.
Well, how about take... Wait. These.
Oh!
And I'll be back to pick that up.
Okay. For a second I was like, is he just not gonna take the sand? Is he just not gonna take the sand? Alright, so after quite an awkward time of just waiting for the deep slate to smelt, we're finally done with making our first transaction of the season. And that kind of makes me want to have the season be a bit different from last season. Last season, it was quite a bit of, like, we were kind of on our own because we were so far apart. But now that the map is much smaller, it's 10,000 by 10,000 maximum, and everyone's kind of sticking around spawn, the distances are really short. Like, I could get to Fake Blossom's base and the proposed location of Too Much Mustard's final base in a matter of minutes, to be honest. So yeah, we're all gonna be very interconnected, and I think we could also have like a hyperport or something like that, where it's like a big nether portal, like interconnected set of nether portals, but there's like a standard to the way they're interconnected, so they all have to follow a certain standard, otherwise they can't be part of like the hyperport. I think that would make it so that nether travel is a lot more efficient. If there's like a standard they all have to link up, stuff like that, that just makes everything more efficient in a, you know, in like even in the real world, in like politics and world organizations. That's why we have the UN, so that everything's sort of standardized. I mean, there's a number of reasons why we have the UN and like and other organizations, but one of them is like everything should be standardized, right? So yeah, it's kind of just, I want to make it so that we have some sort of standards for things like nether travel and stuff like that, so that it makes it a lot easier to get to other people's bases. Even though we're already super close to each other, it'll make it even quicker. So yeah, I'm very excited for the upcoming episodes of this season of InfinityCraft, but I think this is actually where we're going to wrap up today's episode. So, as always, my name has been Void Doctor. Please like, subscribe, and share if you did enjoy the episode and feel inclined to do so. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye for now.